Taurus, not Taurus, Gemini. Gemini, this is your next 5 days whenever you find it. This is Rogue Mystic Divination, and thank you for tuning in. I'm going to throw 5 cards, and maybe a couple of extras, so read them how you want to, but I'm going to read them all together as to one set of events, and if you want to put them day by day, do as thou wilt. And Gemini, this is the start of your next 5 days. Starting with the Ten of Cups, okay. I am going to say that Taurus got the some of the same cards. Okay. What's up? What's up, kitten? Not trying to squash you. Somebody could be overbearing whenever they're dealing with you, and that's going to put you in a corner. I have a semi-squashed kitty on my lap right now, so that may be how you're feeling. But card-wise, you have the Ten of Cups, so you feel comfortable where you're at. And the Eight of Pentacles. Now, you may want to listen to the Taurus reading. They had the Eight of Pentacles as their first card, and the Ten of Pentacles as their last card. And I'm not sure how much that's going to relate to you, but if you have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or you're dealing with the Taurus, that may help you out some. Anyway, Gemini, you have it seems as though you start off in a good spot, but you come to find out that all the work that you've put in is not going to net you what you thought it was, and there could be a mess up with a check, or maybe someone trying to run away with your money with the Knight of Wands right there. Or someone running away with your idea. And patience is a virtue you may have to tap into in order to get through this. It looks as though you're going to end the next 5 days with being put in a corner somehow, and you're going to have to make a decision to balance things out, but it may be a difficult decision. And you may find that you have to turn a blind eye to something that you're going to end up losing, and realize how much worth it really had to you. And you may have just been holding on to it out of spite somehow. But in reality, it doesn't really seem to have much value to you on its own merit. It's just the idea or the connection that you think it has to somebody else or a certain event. Could be an engagement ring. If this was a union that ended up in divorce or in separation before the wedding occurred, that could be what happens, is that somebody comes in to get some kind of property back that was in association with a relationship. Makes sense if you have a breakup, but this breakup could also be a partnership or a separation from work or career. So if you are separating from a position, ensure that you actually have the entire amount that you are owed. And if there is a discrepancy, you may have to decide whether or not it's worth it or not to fight this. I'm feeling something about like the company going into bankruptcy and all their accounts being frozen, something like that. It may not be worth your time to pursue this in the long run. But it does seem as though you're coming out of a happy situation that turns negative, that shows you that you're not going to get what you wanted after all, even though you were pretty sure about it. Also, I see the Two of Swords as the someone putting baby in a corner. And you don't have anyone there to say nobody puts baby in a corner. You're just sitting there hoping for the best and trying to ignore the situation as much as you can. But the blindfold is a choice. All she has to do is put down one of the swords and take off the blindfold that she's wearing to see which direction she's pointing at, and she has removed herself from the emotional context of whatever the situation is. And the Temperance angel there is floating above the emotions and almost trying to be emotionally analytical. But you're going to have to choose an idea that you have about something or someone and realize that it may have never been in your best interest, and you may just have to cut your losses. As unfavorable as that seems right now, in the long run, it could be for your benefit, just like with the paycheck. To cut your losses while they're small, because the longer you stick it out, trying to get what it is that you think that you deserve from this, the more it's going to take from you. And the hidden influence on that is going to be the Six of Pentacles. If you cut your losses now, you are going to end up getting what it is that you deserve and what you want. But it's not going to be in the way that you're seeing right now. It's not going to be by you actively choosing to go after it. It almost feels as though the second that you decide to stop trying to control this, that'll end up working out in your favor. So if you give this energy room to move and give it some space to do what it needs to do, it's going to end up working out in your favor, Gemini. So keep that in mind whenever you're dealing with any kind of difficulty or trying to hold on to any promises that anybody else has made to you. They're obviously not going to be able to give you, or will now be obviously unwilling to give you what it is that they promised, but somehow you'll still end up with it. Maybe not from the same source, but from the universe will get it to you somehow. And this person, this Knight of Wands really does feel like a person that's trying to run away with something that's yours. So again, whether it's an idea, whether it's your heart, or some kind of intellectual property, they won't be able to handle it, and it's likely if it's intellectual property, you'll be able to come out and say that I have files dating to X years ago that are only tied to this certain account that that person has never had access to. And if I'm not the idea originator, then how do I have this information? I didn't even come in contact with this person until 2023, and these files go back to 2008. That being said, this could have something to do with the whole, I'm not really into astrology that much, but I do listen to a few of the people that cover it in detail. Whatever's going on with this Pluto coming out of retrograde or Capricorn or whatever it is right now, if you have strong Capricorn placements, look into some of the people talking about the Pluto, whatever it is right now. I'm sure it'll be easy for you to find because it's a big event. It's not going to come back during our lifetime, or come back this way in our lifetime. Like it's letting go of the cardinal signs or something. And I know you're not a cardinal sign, Gemini, but depending on you got to look at your entire chart. So keep that in mind whenever you look into different astrology placements. But I am yawning the most during your read, and I feel very awake. So you may be hitting the caffeine kind of hard, Gemini. But whatever is going on right now, it is working in your favor. But that doesn't mean that there isn't someone that's trying to either screw up your work or steal your work. Or take credit for something that you've done. Because that Knight of Wands being in reverse right next to the Eight of Pentacles, it seems like you're putting in the work and you have your back to what it is that this other person is doing. And they're just running away with something that, because they're going very quickly and they are on the move, they are getting out of Dodge, it's something that they're not supposed to have. But again, Temperance and the Two of Swords, things are going to be balanced out, and it's going to be partially because you remove yourself emotionally from this situation, and somehow you're going to be justified. Somebody or your name is in rooms that you have never entered, and that's actually in your benefit right now. From something you've done in the past or from your reputation. So keep that in mind and stay hopeful. It will work out in the end, and this energy is just the majority of what's going on in the next 5 days for you whenever you find this, and it may give you some insight to what it is that you're not necessarily paying attention to or staring in the face right now. And best of luck, Gemini. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising placements for the next 5 days. Dailies, weeklies, and monthlies hopefully will be back up here soon, but I am behind, so thank you for your patience, and like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.